Can you hear me now? Somebody tell me. It wouldn't let me go, but now I'm here, and I think I'm going. Like, you people are all the people from the campsite. Great. Nice to see you all again. Hi, Jen. Trackway or Mrs. Track. What's Trackway? What is Trackway doing? Is Trackway skipping? Oh, my goodness. So it's all the usual suspects. It is. Thank you all for coming. I thought I'd try it. Oh, good. All right. My texting is popping up in chat. Just next to chat. Okay. Mr. Trackway is asking, any action since we left? I don't know how to do this. I've never done a live through this. I always use StreamYard and probably will again next time. He is a slacker. It's okay. He's probably tired like Matt, and they're both going to be snoring any second now. Yeah, there was like a howl. That's about it. There are people out Bigfooting, so I think it's probably like that. And that's about it. I went and explored the woods today, and there really wasn't much going on out there. Just beautiful woods. That's all. But I did that for a few hours. Hung out with Steve Coles for a little while. Talked about all kinds of crazy things. But yeah, now I'm here waiting for everything to happen. The wind changed, so the smoke is all blowing into this tent. It hasn't done that, in a week now. But it also brought clouds in, and the clouds are covering any source of light except for mine. I'm glad I have 4 lanterns, Matt. Just saying, So, trying to keep this cough down. Just water in my cup, trying to keep that cough down. That's kind of boring, but thank you, Sasquatch Wizard Adirondack. If I knew how to make you a what do you call that? A wrench, I would, but they don't call it a wrench anymore. 3 would have been inadequate, and frankly, I only had the space for 4. I know odd numbers are much better, but what can you do sometimes? So there are other people camped up the way, new people, not this site here, but way up. And those are the only other people I've seen in the park. You should have seen the number of campers leaving the campers website, campers campsites. I'm having trouble with English at this point. It's late in my day. I don't want to have too much honey because my voice sounds really sexy like this. Are you agreeing with me? Sasquatch on my sexy voice? Sasquatch Whiz? I don't know. But I don't know if you can see out there past my lights. But there is nothing. Smoke is actually finally shifted again, so it's not. Just because I said that, it's going to pour in any second now. But yeah, no one interested in seeing what's going on in the woods here. There was just a light walking down the road. The road that Matt has spent a lot of time running up and down. It was just a night walker, like a person who walks at night, not the cryptid, the night walker. But it says there are 8 out there. That's kind of cool, which means that there are some lurkers. People are bored with this, but For those who were not here camping, I should fill you in. I am at Salt Fork State Park in Ohio, and there was just the Ohio Bigfoot Conference. I came in last Sunday. Um, was it Sunday or Saturday? It was Sunday. So this is my eighth night camping here. The first night I camped alone, and then all these people in chat that you can see got here, and we all camped and looked for Bigfoot. And some people were uh, lucky enough to have cool experiences. There were several cool experiences. My little squatch dude is right here keeping me company. Left is right and right is left. That's so weird. My nose, the crook in my nose is on the wrong side. I don't understand that. Um, but it was kind of a cool week. I abandoned everybody and went to be social because that's what I do. Um, I don't necessarily do it well. I'm kind of an asshole, and but I spent a lot of time meeting a lot of cool people up there, and then I would come back at night to these cool people down here, which was fun. Um, and then I'd go to bed because I was so darn tired. Um, but yeah, that was my experience with OBC. Lots of great lectures. The area is really interesting. Lots of crazy stuff going on. Um, oh, people who were here. I took a little nap. Right, I went for dinner at 360 Burger and came back. And before this started, I wanted to have a little nap because you know that I get tired late at night. I'm kind of a wuss like that. And I woke up. I swear to God, I woke up to the perimeter alarm. But there were no perimeter alarms here. So that's just weird. I was just waking up. Was it kind of a dream state? Was it wishful thinking because I have to spend the night here alone now? I do that all the time anyway. But it was just an odd thing. Maybe perimeter alarm PTSD. Yes. So well, I mean, you missed the big stuff, Bill. I woke up to the perimeter alarm going off, which was, maybe I just missed you. I don't know. I really don't. But it was odd, and it did wake me up in time, which was good. That's what I said, Bill. I know you had him with you, you know, an hour away or whatever, but I woke up to the perimeter alarm going off from my nap this afternoon. So I should have bought bourbon to put in this cup. It probably would have helped with this allergy thing. So there's still 8 people watching. Are there any likes? Oh, there's one. Oh, I see where that is. Okay. Um, yeah, I was kind of hoping maybe a car alarm. It more sounded like if it was something, um, maybe a bird. I don't know. Um, just because of the tone of it. Is there a bird that sounds like your perimeter alarm? No, I didn't have a recorder out. Nothing's charging. All my batteries are dying. This is charging because thank God I charged my Goal Zero. So no, I'm tired tonight, Mrs. Trackway. Even though you're not here because you left, but now you're back. I guess I don't know. Anyway, um, oh, there's something big moving or something falling. I'm not sure. That was about it. Just one crunch. Maybe something fell. Oh, 6 likes. Thanks, guys. Um, so yeah, I was kind of hoping more would be going on. I was kind of hoping maybe some of my old viewers would have been in the chat asking me all kinds of questions, but they're not. JT85, probably just an elephant. I'd rather it be an elephant right now than a cranky Bigfoot or a ghostly Bigfoot. I'm okay with the happy big feet. They're good. So, um, I'm very curious to see of the people I saw in the park today. They all seem to be squatchers. So I wonder if I'm going to hear whoops and knocks from all these people out and about, like the guy who was just walking down there right before I went live. Um, he'd walked down. I saw him walk down a while ago. I kind of forgot he was there, and then I heard him coming up, and it caught me off guard. And then I was like, "Oh, that's." I saw his light and realized it was the same light. So, but that's all. I Yeah, this is really boring, and I'm sorry. Unless something happens, other than the wind shifting and this place filling with smoke again, I don't know. But there is zero light. I can't tell the difference between the trees and the sky. Like it just goes straight up into darkness. Yeah, it's a hiking trail, so people are going to go up and down that road, Matt. Um, and I guess I should be used to that until I'm like snug in my bed and I hear footsteps, and I'm going to wake up anyway and pee myself, maybe just a little. So, well, listen, my friends that were just here, I'm not going to make you sit up with me another night. I think I'm just going to, this is more of an experiment. There are 10 people watching. I'm not going to demand that they identify themselves, but uh, I'd love to know who you are. And if you have any questions, I'll answer them, regardless whether they're about this place or what's going on right now, or, I don't know, anything. I don't really have many answers, but Max, could you please share all of the strange happenings our group experienced during our stay? That's more for you guys because they happened to you. Um, I think you guys should talk about those. Um, and it's not that I'm being lazy; it's just that really I didn't have the experiences. I just tried to help figure them out. Um, and that's not the easy way out. But yeah, there were some activities, there were some things seen, some figures seen, some Bigfoot parts seen. God, I hope that was an arm. That's all I'm saying. Um, but yeah, there stuff went on. Um, so yeah, yeah, that's my night in a nutshell. Um, can I tell my part of your experience, Bill? He's not listening anymore, but that's okay. I don't know what the delay on these things is. Okay. So I was kind of sitting where I am now. Oh, how about that? Mrs. Trackway is replacing you. And Matt Larson is no longer the jinx. I will say that. But Bill saw something. We had perimeter alarms going off. We had a lot of perimeter alarms going off. Um, Adjusted. We still had perimeter alarms going off. But Bill caught a glimpse of a shadow, like I get like a 6 foot tall like figure in the woods, peeking into our camp. Not really peeking, just standing there looking, and started heading towards it and yelled up to me, "Max, come on!" And I popped up and ran down there. And by the time we got in the woods, there was nothing around. Um, but he saw it and was kind of bummed that he was the one who saw it because he always sees them. Not always sees them, but when we're out, he seems to be the one who gets to get the view. I did not see it, but we stood there and we debunked for quite some time. Couldn't figure out what it could have been. I couldn't figure out whether it was mistaken identity or anything like that. And that was all well and good. We talked about it for a good long time, and then I don't know if it was the next night or the night after that. Similar situation, except I was closer this time. Bill saw something, and we went running after it. And this time, going running after it, when I stepped into the woods, I heard something moving, so I had um, something to go for other than to just look around. Um, and there are a couple trails that crisscross back there, and I could hear it coming from like straight ahead. Um, so I went straight ahead, and then it seemed to kind of go off down an embankment, and I went to investigate, and the embankment appeared to have uh, prints as if something ran down it. Really fresh, it had kicked up leaves and debris as if something took several big steps down that hill. They were far apart, but it was downhill, and then it went off into the brush. So again, we we looked for whatever we could, all kinds of any kind of evidence that we could find, footprints, and I would consider those prints, but they were not readable prints. And then we came back up, and Bill went over where he thought it had been, and it really looked like there were two deep indentations, um, like in the moss and dirt behind a tree, where Bill seems to think that's where it was, which makes a heck of a lot of sense if you really think about it. So something quite possibly was standing there watching uh, and peeking at us. So if I left anything out, you guys can say that in the comments and remind me because I don't know, I'm not so bright anymore. Um, and then we were sitting down in the area where we were all sitting, which is like around Bill's tent and his 47 outbuildings, a little tent city down there. Um, Not quite like Melnia Cast, but there were a lot of tents. Bostonians are laughing right now. You guys have no idea what I'm talking about. But you have 48 tents, Bill? Is that's probably right. Um, so we're all kind of sitting there, and we're starting to go about our separate days, all the little things that we do. And Matt Larson is standing there following what Bill had said. Don't just look at me when you talk to me. Look at the tree line. Watch those tree lines. And 49, if you count the new one like this one. And all of a sudden, he's like, hey, give me this, give me this, give me this, give me this. But he didn't really explain what was going on. So Deb scrambled, got him a thermal, and he's looking through it. And that's when I realized that he's looking at something. And so I went in after talking to Matt and him telling me what's going on. I went in to kind of see what was going on, see if I could see anything out there where he had just seen something. And he did a height comparison, and whatever this was down behind where he's looking on the road that we keep talking about, the road where the hikers were just walking by. And it was apparently about 6'1". I did have a black hoodie on, like my raincoat with a black hood, because something about this weekend in Ohio, it becomes a tropical rainforest apparently every year. I don't know if you knew that, but it's true. So I was that height. There was no one out on that road. As far as I could see, I was late in going. Um, it wasn't that big a delay, however, and I think we probably would have seen or heard if there were people on that road. Um, and we did not. And I don't remember where I went, but I left. Um, I think I went to buy honey, local honey, because of my allergies right now are killing me down here. I'm gonna get a chainsaw some night and come and cut down all these damn dogwoods so that next year I don't have to deal with this. Seriously. So while we're all away, Matt and Jen are at camp and they see, or Matt sees it. I don't know if Jen didn't see it right. Matt sees it again. And this time he goes for it to see. He runs down to the road. He looks up and down that road, and you can see like a good ways on that road in both directions. There was nothing there. It was okay. So the second incident was about 20 minutes after the first one. Matt was standing still in the same spot, still looking to try and figure out what happened the last time, which is kind of a theme uh, to this week here. Um, yeah, things that happen once apparently will happen again. Um, so Max, what intrigues me the most as it pertains to the happenings was one, the visual sighting of an arm raising up, and oh, I didn't even mention that, and the like swim motion associated with a silhouette of head and shoulder. Yeah. So this is really interesting. Matt, I'm going to talk about you. Years ago, Matt Larson and I were on a camping trip. Other people call those expeditions. Matt and I call them camping trips because that seems to be what we do is just go camping and look for Bigfoot. Um, Years ago, Matt Larson saw something, said to the woods, wouldn't it be funny if we saw a giant one of those? And the next thing we knew, we're walking into a giant one of those. At the time, we were with people, and I think I was one of them who believed in structures and glyphs and things like this. So Matt had seen this little Y stick hanging and thought, oh, wouldn't it be great to see a huge one of those? Like, as it, and the way he said it was almost like I would believe in this thing if it did it. And 2 minutes later, it was like right in front of him, a giant one hanging on the wall, which is kind of cool. Nerds go on expeditions. We go camping, which is true. I probably do it a little too much, but um, so after the first one, Matt here, not that first one, but the first incident here, we saw that the head go by on the road where no one was. Um, Matt's, kind of coaxing it to come out again, and it was the big wow, come out and say hello, and is doing that kind of thing. And apparently, the second time he saw it, not only saw head, but it did the exact same motion. Um, yeah, floating coconut. Long story, but anyone who wants to hear floating coconut stories, I think Bill should have a show about them. Um, but yeah, so twice now, Matt has asked for confirmation and gotten confirmation dead on. Um, whether that's woo or whether I don't know what it is. Is it psychological? Is it? I don't know what it is, but it's certainly curious or strange. Matt, that's a good word too. So, and then, yeah, I won't tell about that. The last day, that's Matt's thing. You can tell that on your channel, Matt. But we did a lot of walking, a lot of hiking, a lot of driving, there's going to be a lot of data collected to go over um, from this week. Um, and the equipment that this group of people has, it is amazing. So between driving around in backwoods with trackway and cameras sticking out everywhere, night vision, there was no way. If there was an ant, I don't know how ants show up on thermal, but if there was an ant, we're probably going to catch it. Um, just amazing stuff. Matt's got a new setup for thermal um, that is better than anything you've ever seen. I hope it's okay that I just said that, Matt. I'm not telling him what it is. He's perfecting it. There are a few bugs that he's working out, but it was really amazing. And I think with equipment like that, if there's a Bigfoot in his area, he's going to find it. So it was really amazing. So, do you think it was that much? $10,000 to $15,000 worth of equipment. Don't forget the $8 I spent on my flashlight because I had that. I don't usually use them because I get yelled at when I turn a light on. But yeah, I paid $8 for that flashlight, and I'm proud of it. So 15,008. Yeah, that's probably it. Yep, I'm sticking to that story. Should I change that light up there to red? Would that be cooler? Is that cooler? You know what? I look younger in red light. I like that. I mean, even with my old man glasses on. I guess technically my sunglasses are old glasses too because Joe Biden has a pair. But all right, guys. It's been a half an hour on live. Just the crackling of the fire right now. I can kind of see the difference in the sky. So the sky is navy and the trees are black. But that highway singing. I wonder if that's some of the howls people hear. I'm not entirely sure. Really, just nothing. Dead quiet. I think that's because of the lack of light. Um, that moon you were talking about, Deb, I haven't seen that. Any more cooler movement? Oh yeah, I didn't tell that. What else happened like that? There was odd stuff like that, but something slid my cooler out like 4 inches and opened the top. and didn't close it firmly, didn't take anything out, and didn't shit on it. So the fact that it didn't shit on it and didn't the stuff inside, I'm going to say it probably wasn't a raccoon, because they'll either eat your stuff or shit on it. So, and it happened twice actually. So, and to make sure it wasn't tonight, I put like a spacer between the top of the cooler and the bottom of the table. So, A, if they move it, that'll fall over. And they can't just open it without moving it because it's the same height as the top of the cooler to the bottom of the table. So, be interesting to see what happens there. Something just slid down the outside of the shelter here. Interesting. So yeah, I wasn't going to say that, Matt, but now that you've said it, I can talk about that. So even as people were packing up and leaving, Matt saw a third thing, which is really interesting. Matt, yeah, you can no longer say you're a jinx, man. Not at all. So we were all lined up, being interviewed and for photographs and things like that. And we were all, I mean, it was probably kind of a scene, you know, and may cause a little bit of curiosity for things out there. Um, and that's when Matt was sitting in a chair. Um, Wiz is interviewing Sasquatch Wizard Adirondacks in the chat. I just call him Wiz because I'm lazy. Um, but Matt, in the direction he was facing, saw a dark figure pop up and look right at him pretty much and then drop back down. So that's kind of cool. In fact, if someone else told me all these things happened on one trip, I would think that everyone was a bunch of like Bigfoot crazies with Bigfoot on the mind. But based on the people that were here, um, yeah, it's just crazy. This place is this place is a real live Bigfoot thing. It's okay that you went home early. It was a long week, so Can Squatch, thank you for coming. Thank you for not lurking any longer. I'm trying to think what else happened. Oh, you know what? I don't know how I missed the 2 terabytes of information. It's really funny is I think the Star Trek Voyager, they talk about the data of the ship on the ship. It's like 7 terabytes. So you almost got that half the information that they carried with them, which is just incredible. Like, yeah, uh, nothing was missed except for by me because I'm a little obtuse. But I agree with that. It was strange, all the cooler stuff, because yeah, Wiz's cooler also Is that just, oh, that's a shadow from my glasses. Okay. I thought I had some ashes. I don't. Also had his cooler tampered with, which is, and a whiz tote. Is that a brand name? I like it. So, so that was my week. That's what happened all week. Um, Today I went down to the nature center, the eco center, um, which is interesting. They're using Bigfoot to teach about ecology here. Um, and I there's a map of the Bigfoot sightings in the park. So I took a photograph of that and matched it up to my map, and I went out and I went to each of those areas, and there was no real evidence of them, but they were definitely squatchy areas in the middle of nowhere. The main road is paved and beautiful, but the little like Forest Service roads are still actually quite nice. They're all gravel and one lane winding through the woods. Um, but I followed those for most of my afternoon and probably used $100 worth of gas by today's standards. And yeah, definitely room, definitely a good environment. I could not tell you how many deer I saw out there. Um, and I think I got a picture of one. Every time I would like go to pull my camera out and take the picture, by the time it was out, all 12 of them had run, pranced across the road. So it's it is more for kids, but it's very actually you would probably find it interesting because you could probably incorporate similar things into your um, library situation. Um, I don't know how to describe like I'm just a bill. Remember how as kids we all learned about the Constitution, um, back when we used to use that, um, based on I'm just a bill here on Capitol Hill. Um, so they use Bigfoot as that kind of a mascot, a teaching mascot, and it's really, really well done. I was a teacher, um, so I appreciated it. But boy, they did a good job. There is also a statue, uh, um, like a taxidermy type kind of thing of Bigfoot in there. It's interesting. I don't think the jar is wide enough, and I don't think the eyes are deep set enough based on what I saw. But you know, it was cool to see. Am I a Gen Xer? I don't even know what generation I am. I know I'm friggin' old now. So yeah, that's what happened this week at Salt Fork, and I think I'm gonna call it because I'm just kind of talking in circles at this point. Listening to see if anything's going on. Yeah, we're starting to get some crickets and stuff like that. So I don't know if you can hear them on here, but That's about it. Crickets crackling in the fire. Occasional things dropping from trees. Nothing's hit my table yet. Oh, I forgot about that one. There was a rock thrown into camp, lit it on a table. Um, no way it could have like been an acorn dropping off a tree bouncing because the area that it hit um, had a tarp over it and the tarp sloping on three of the four sides. Um, and someone would have had to have pretty good aim to get it to land where it did. So yeah, there's that. From Austria, there are people watching in Austria. I'm like, first I have to say um, to the person from Austria, my name is Max. Remember my face, and now I can say I am an internationally recognized Bigfooter. So thank you very much for showing up because that's going right on my resume. Oak Manor, thank you. This is a little slow tonight. I'm just trying to listen to see what's going on out there. I was kind of hoping that I would get activity um, today because there were tons of people in this park for the last 2 or 3 days. And there's no way I can pronounce your name um, properly. I'm from Boston. I can't pronounce anything properly, actually. But well, I do appreciate you coming. Oak Manor. I don't know if you're from New Hampshire, but it's a gorgeous spot. If you haven't been there, I would recommend it. I think I put the emphasis on the wrong syllable when I said recommend it. Recommend it. Anyway. Um, oh, that was a log in my fireplace that just fell over. That's all. I'm probably going to head out in the morning, and I don't really know where I'm going. I have to be in Boston on the 8th, and there's lots of campsites between here and there. This is yeah. I was hoping there'd be something for you to watch. Yeah, I'm having trouble. I just am going to say the wrong thing, and it's going to be a very dirty word when I try and get that out right. And I apologize. Futschas, futschas, anon. Anonymous. Futschas, anonymous. I don't know. I don't even know what accent to say that with. It would take me a week to say it in Swedish because you have to pronounce all the damn letters. Kind of bounce when you say it. Can Squatch. The night is still early enough. Time for activity to happen. There is. Um, let's hope. Maybe. I'm being attacked by a cricket. It's coming straight for me. So, do you only watch YouTube videos while working, or do you ever just go on when you're not working and maybe see things? I don't stream often. I used to have a channel. Um, I just decided to try this again. I have an idea where I think I'm going to be doing this kind of thing a lot, where I sit in the woods in empty areas and try and stream, um, try and stream what's going on in the woods at that time. Hopefully, there'll actually be something going on. The second that I try and fall asleep tonight, something's going to hit the side of my tent. I'm going to be a little butt puckered. But Prince Arcane 4602. Yes, I am Max from Boston. No prox alarm. The only prox alarm I heard was whatever woke me up. Um, so the weather tonight, it's like right now, it's, I don't know, 53, and it's going to be right around there. It's probably going to get into the mid 40s once the night gets long, but um, last night was a cool one. I've got the gear. I didn't even mind sleeping on an air mattress. My other mattress is takes up more space, but it has an R value of 13. Um, so I thought that this would be cold, but I wasn't. And I was only in a Walmart sleeping bag because my sleeping bag is way too warm. I have an LL Bean sleeping bag that's a 20-degree bag. Excuse me. My allergies are killing me. I'm sorry. I hope I'm not offending anyone with sniffling. Um, but that bag would have been way too warm. So I'll use that. In the blizzard, it was perfect. My tent was great. The sleeping bag was great. The R13 value mat was great. But yeah, but now I've got cheap gear and holes in my tent, so I threw a tarp over it. Um, were you Austria or Switzerland? I forget. Fuchsia. Do you have Bigfoot there? Where was it? Okay, good. Now it's scrolling. Okay. Greetings from Austria. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to call you Switzerland. Closest I can get to that. I lived in Estonia for a while. That's not really close, but and Sweden, which is closer, Estonia or Sweden? I don't know, but I live there too. I'm not bragging. I'm just saying. What about forest folk? Do you have forest folk? Do you have? There's got to be cryptids in Austria. Excuse me. Excuse me. Ghosts are good too. You don't have like werewolves in those castles or around them. No good legends like that. Not that ghosts aren't good legends. And castles are awesome. I find them cozy somehow. Excuse me. So I'm scrolling the chat, just looking for things to talk about. Are you guys picking on my love of the cold? That's not fair. That's not cool. I'm going to stoke the fire. I think that's going to catch. Unfortunately, I have to keep my computer plugged in to my Goal Zero. Um, so I can't pull the computer out of this cover because it's plugged into my Goal Zero, and I can't carry my phone, which has the internet connection, my computer, and the Goal Zero around the woods looking for Bigfoot. Well, funny you should ask. Um, I don't really know what to think about that. I haven't seen the film, and until I do, I really can't make a judgment on that. There are people who can and will make judgments on those, and they're certainly free to do so. Here's what I know: I saw a Bigfoot in 1984 in the woods of New Hampshire. Um, what I saw didn't look anything like Patty. Didn't behave like Patty. Well, it wasn't that different from Patty, I guess, in its behavior. It just kind of looked at us, was kind of shocked, and stepped off into the woods. Um, so, anyone relying on Patty for information, as far as I'm concerned, it's one sighting out of thousands. The people who don't like Bigfoot and don't want to believe in Bigfoot or don't, you know, like whatever it is, cryptids or think it's science to say Bigfoot's not real or what have you. Um, it's one sighting. It is not. Um, it does not affect the thousands of other people who have seen these things, the thousands of other people who have experiences with these things that have overlapping factors that seem to carry through. Um, my biggest fear about the Patterson Gimlin film being fake is all the information about Bigfoot that we think we have that are based off of that film, whether it's Patty's movements, whether it's footprints, whether it's that stuff all has to be revisited if that's a fake. If that's a fake, what else is a fake? Um, so basically, what happens is we have to completely restart um, and be far more thorough in the Bigfoot investigations. So, what what is it? And I've said this for years. What is it that we are, or that I'm having trouble with words because it's late at night. Trying to figure out what it is that we've based on that, and how do we now prove anything without new evidence to base it on? I guess is what I was trying to say. So, so Fushras, all these people in this chat have Bigfoot channels. So you can, I think you can actually click on their names and go to their channels, um, and find out what we've been up to. We've only been really working together, and a group or Bigfooters who kind of respect each other's opinions and the way they do things. So um, there's a lot of good channels where these people are on, in my chat. So my I there are other videos that I've done, and basically all my channel does is show you my gullibility and my fallibility. So watch them. Bring some salt. You're going to need a grain of salt or two to watch those. But bills are very thorough. They show incredible evidence that he's come across and an incredible intention to detail in the examination of that evidence. Sasquatch wizard. No one goes deeper in the woods. Uh, I may stay a little longer sometimes, but I certainly don't go nearly as deep as he does. So, and Matt Larson, yeah, another one who just looks for the real, what is out there, what's the real truth. So he's when I say Matt Larson, he's Central Kentucky Bigfoot, formerly Central Florida Bigfoot. If he moves again, he better move to the center of a state, or he's going to have to change that. Central blank Bigfoot. I can understand that, Mrs. Trackway. Have a lovely evening. Um, Audio, hello, how are you? I'm kind of boring tonight. I'm just trying to sit here and listen to see if Bigfoot's in these woods now that everyone else has left. So, yeah, that what I've got a minute and 15 seconds before this is an hour, so I might just cut it at an hour. Um, Thanks everybody for coming. You guys who spent the week with me and are back on here, please just go to bed, get some sleep. Audio, yeah, I did. I interviewed. That's an interesting thing. And I don't know what to say about it. And I have since lost touch with Mark Barton. And I did I have okay interviewing skills, but I don't have good camera skills. So the camera was all over. Um, it turns out that I just don't have a grip in my left hand, and I had my camera on a gimbal type thing. So, oh, have you been in touch now? So listen, I went to a like an event, and I told him, hey, listen, I'll give you a call. It was in Florida when this is over, and I was out in the woods with Central Florida Bigfoot, and my phone like deleted everything, every picture, every film I took on that trip, everything, including this is weird, including all my Florida numbers. So I lost like Chris Connor's number. I lost um, Mark Barton's number. I had to, get Matt. It was easy to get Matt Washington's number again because he was standing next to me. But I had to get. I lost everything, is what I'm saying. So I never did call him, and I think he held a grudge because he disappeared off the face of the earth, and I could never get in touch with him again. But he was a very nice guy who went through a very traumatic thing. I gotta check my battery levels, but if I'm not sleeping, I might as well be. I just don't know. Are you saying that to let me know that the witching hour is coming and that I'm gonna get activity then? So, uh, the environment did something to my phone while I was bigfooting. Um, and when I took it to the Apple store, they said, "Yeah, it's all wet." So I've had several instances in the green swamp in Florida where my iPhones just it killed them. Matt Larson, on the other hand, was from Florida, and he always has an iPhone. So I don't know. But when I went to get my new iPhone because mine broke, Texas Jack, how are you? When I went to get my new iPhone because my iPhone broke, they wouldn't give me a new iPhone because it was wet. I hadn't dropped it. I was just carrying it. So all is good with me. Hope all is well with you, Jack. Um, let's see. Oh yeah, I've been with all kinds of people. Now I go out with these people. Um, I have to stay out of Florida because the heat kills me. Um, like it would literally kill me. So, all right, go pretend that you're working. Look busy. Look important. And if someone asks you to do anything other than what you're doing, even if really you're just looking at YouTube videos, kind of give that face that says, "Oh, I really don't have time for this right now. I've got this project I'm working on." It worked for me for years. So just look annoyed. Be careful though. They might try and promote you when you do that. Let's look. I've got kind of a I don't know if it's a highway, but it was almost a howl, but it could have been tires on pavement. I've been fooled by that before. Yeah, I know, but it's getting late and I'm really just sitting here looking at a screen trying to figure out what to talk about. I'm going to step out from under this tarp. Yeah, so that's definitely the highway that I'm hearing. Um, there is not any light out here tonight. There is not a star. There's no moon. So when I was a kid, that was when we would get activity up in New Hampshire. So I don't know if that's exciting me right now or making me a little nervous. Oh, yeah, audio. I'm pretty sure they are. Texas Jack. I don't know if you ever watched anything I've done, but that's pretty much what I do. The fire's nice. It did start um, quite nicely earlier. I've been bringing all my old crap mail on camping trips. I just throw it in a bag, and then when I go camping, I bring my old mail, and that's what I use to start the fire. Well, so Sasquatch Wizard is asking Max, how do you feel about staying there alone tonight after all of what happened over the last 4 or 5 days? None of it happened to me. Um, so either something's going to happen to me, or Matt Larson has, delegated his jinx duties to me. I don't know. I sleep alone in the woods a lot. So the big difference is that there are so many sightings in this area, but that is also generally how I pick a camp spot. So, like if you're a Bigfoot hunter, and you pick a campsite where there are no Bigfoot, that's no fair. That's why when I go to um, like Bigfoot conferences, like this one, I camp. I don't stay in the hotel um, because there's all these sightings when you camp, and I don't think anyone has seen one in the hotel. When we were at Jonathan, when we were at the New York Bigfoot conference, I camped because there were Bigfoot sightings in that area. And it was the closest campground I could find to Bigfoot sightings and the hotel. So there was a bit of compromise in that one. I think it turned out to be a pretty good area. But I slept there alone every night too, even after you whistled in the woods. Thank you very much. So my tremors are kicking in because it's that kind of time of night. Well, I haven't left yet. So if there's any other Bigfooters out there, I have had 3 incidents now. The 3, and maybe 4. North Carolina, 2 times in North Carolina, once in Florida, and once in Vermont. Packing up my car and leaving. And right as everything is in the car and I'm getting into the driver's seat, there have been trees falling right in front, like wherever I'm looking. This last one was in Vermont was it October? It's either October or November. And literally, I'm reaching to shut the door, and I turn my head, and dead ahead, right where I'm looking, tree falls. Happened once in Highlands, North Carolina. It happened once in like the Wolf Gap area of North Carolina. I'm trying to think. It's another name. It's not too far from the Sierra Nevada Brewery. I think it's Wolf Gap. And it happened at Manil in the Green Swamp in Florida, right across from Colt Creek State Park. My buddy Ron and I were leaving the campsite for good after we'd been there for about a month, which is kind of pushing it because you get 2 weeks, but he got 2 weeks and I got 2 weeks, and we just kept moving cars, switching cars. But as we were packing up, a huge live oak just crunched to the ground. So I don't know what to tell you, Jonathan. Which phone was in the woods with you? And if that's the phone that's messing up, I don't know. It's 11:15. That's it. That's interesting that you're both having phone issues. I had an issue. It wouldn't go live for me. My phone is the internet provider for my computer because I can't go live on my phone without it being up and down instead of portrait instead of landscape. Is that it? So that's interesting. I don't know. I thought there was someone up on the road, but I was hearing something. I thought I was. There is nothing up there. Yeah, it sounded like a foot scuff on the road, and possibly a woman's voice, but not trying to shake that. Haven't heard anything since. So what time is it? Ah, I wish I could carry this whole thing with me, and we'd kind of go out there and look around. You wouldn't see much because it's pitch black, but I need one of those. Like, remember the AV cart in high school? Yeah, I need a camp version. I do know them. They're just big black holes at this point, Jen. There's a log hissing in the fire. I don't know if you can hear that. Jack, that makes perfect sense that it would be correlated. Um, right, that's what happens when you take it out of an area. Was there any like flooding or anything that may have caused a predator to want to leave and go elsewhere? I mean, good hunting grounds is a heck of a reason to stay. Oh, wow. That is cool. Whiz, that's cool. Oh, thanks for that voting of encouragement, Jen. Thank you so much. Ooh, gotcha, Jack. Oh, boy. Oh, shit. I'm dropping stuff. Oh, boy. That's not it. Okay. I technically can do that, except my battery is so low that I can't unplug it. Whiz. Oh, I see what you're saying. Your thing. All right. I was thinking I could just use the show you how dark it was. I'm not saying much. I'm just listening. I apologize. I'm going to put some more mail on the fire. Oof. Not really much going on. Hmm. Hmm. All right, people. I think I'm going to call it a night bed. I'm sitting here starting to get a little cold. I don't know. I don't know why, but it is a little cool. Have a good night, Jen. Thank you all for coming. I'm sorry it was so boring, so slow. The second I shuts off, it won't be. But anyway, thank you all for coming. Have a good night.